I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On behalf of the board, I welcome all members of the audience to this evening's meeting. This meeting is a working session of the board to conduct the business of the district. The agenda for today's meeting has been published, and the agenda items to be discussed and or voted on have been studied by board members. I'll introduce the people here on the dais with me. To my far left is Recording Secretary Cindy Benson, Superintendent Larry Francois, board members Amy Cast, Sandy Hayes, Dawn McCravey, and Kimberly D'Angelo. I'm Janet Quinn, and I currently serve as president of the board. Agendas for this meeting, as well as minutes from our previous meeting, are available on the table at the back. If you are here to address the board on agenda items, please sign in on the clipboard that's on the table with the agendas, and you'll have an opportunity near the beginning of the meeting for your comments. First order of business is the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. I want to begin tonight by congratulating the 10 North Shore School District students who are semifinalists in the 2016 National Merit Scholarship Competition. From Bothell High School, Katie Hayward and Sajin Kim. From Inglemore High School, Wyatt Carpenter, Gokul Cowrie, Tobin Hansen, Jinji Kwong, and Karina Lee. And from Woodinville High School, Ellen Payne, Janice Shin, and Allison Wheaton. Across the nation, the National Merit Scholarship Corporation designates about 16,000 semifinalists from nearly 1.4 million students, or about the top 1.1% of students who take the PSAT during their junior or sophomore year. National Merit semifinalists are considered for National Merit finalist status and the opportunity to continue in the competition for some 8,000 National Merit scholarships worth about $35 million that will be awarded next spring. So those 10 students are a very elite company, and we're all very proud of them. I also want to congratulate Bothell High School student Caleb Netterfield, who's been elected as a National Officer for Skills USA. This is a tremendous honor for Caleb in the Bothell High School Auto Tech program under instructor Pat McHugh. And Caleb will be responsible for attending several national meetings to fulfill his role as officer. The focus groups being conducted by Education Northwest as part of our Equity and Diversity Action Plan will be taking place in October and November. Ed Northwest will be sending randomized invitations to parents, students, and staff to participate. We anticipate most focus groups occurring in the afternoon, evening, or on Saturdays. Ed Northwest, as you know, will be facilitating the groups. District staff will not have any direct role in conducting the focus groups. And each of the 56 scheduled focus groups will contain about 8 to 12 participants each. Last Friday, September 18th, Carol and I held a second meeting with the advisory team about a potential community convening to develop mission, vision, and value statements around equity and diversity across our community. This is one of the steps that was approved in the action plan in June, obviously a step that's much larger than the North Shore School District, and requires buy-in and commitment from a range of community organizations and partners, so we're working through that. We believe we're making good progress towards identifying outcomes, expectations, and a process for such a community convening, and Shannon Kelly Ray continues to play a vital leadership role and advisory role in this endeavor. On September 10th, along with Director Cast, I attended the North Shore Schools Foundation board meeting. It was a great opportunity to update the foundation board on many initiatives ahead of us in the coming year. We're looking forward to hearing from the foundation in their grant presentation in just a few minutes. On September 11th, I attended the kickoff session for Cohort 3 of the North Shore Leadership Program. So Cohort 3 contains 26 district leaders and is without a doubt the most diverse of our cohorts to date when you look at the range of operational and building leaders who are participating. And participants will engage in a series of group leadership development sessions, a choice of leadership surveys or profiles, and individual coaching throughout the year. On September 14th, I participated in my first WASA Legislative and Finance Committee conference call. So I'm part of this committee this year as my role as WASA Superintendent Component Chair. As you might expect, funding issues, McCleary implementation, and response to the Supreme Court's imposition of sanctions on the legislature were the major topics of our discussion. On September 15th, again along with Director Cass, I attended the Enrollment Demographics Task Force meeting. The EDTF reviewed all of the comments received to date on the May boundary adjustment plan and approved recommendations for 2 minor edits to the plan based on the input received, 2 very minor edits. The comment period on that plan remains open through October 2nd, and we also had the opportunity that evening to recognize long-serving members Katrina Rose and Kara Roth and thank them for their many years of service on the EDTF. On September 16th, I attended the Woodinville Chamber of Commerce Board retreat where we were facilitated through a process of reviewing and updating the Chamber's strategic plan. And then on September 17th, I provided the keynote address at the September Woodinville Chamber of Commerce luncheon presentation. So again, an opportunity to share information about the many changes and initiatives afoot in the district, and also had the opportunity to show the latest video of the progress on North Creek High School. And that was very well received and quite interesting to those in attendance. I'm in the process of visiting all of our schools at the beginning of the year for about 90 minutes, about 30 minutes one-on-one with the principal or the administrative leadership team, and then the rest out in classrooms. And over the last couple of weeks I've been to Leota, Wellington, Eastridge, Frank Love, North Shore, and Woodin, and many more on my calendar in the coming weeks. I think I'm booked out until early November to get through all 32 schools, so, but it's a ton of fun.
Thank you, Larry. Next on the agenda is programs and special presentations. As Larry mentioned, we do have North Shore Schools Foundation Executive Director Carmen Dalziel, and she will present the most recent grant awards.
Well, it seems like I'm just going to do that, but of course I'm going to tell you all about it first. So hello, my name is Carmen Dalziel. I'm from the North Shore Schools Foundation. I'm the Executive Director, and with me today I have 4 board members, unless there's 3 board members. With me I have President Michelle Morris, I have Katie, just Katie, Marketing Chair, and Katie Ruff, Marketing Chair, and Anna Adams, who's our Vice President. So thank you for being here. The foundation, so we love this. So the foundation is proud to be a partner with the North Shore School District. We have been around since 1995. We continue to grow in the ways that we can match, and we appreciate the way the school board's been able to provide us leadership with school board goals, which we're going to talk about, and also the growing support of our community. So we're going to do a little bit of a review from last year's funding, and then I'm going to give you some more money. Okay? All right, that's fun. All right, so our accomplishments and successes for the last year, one of the biggest things that we're very proud of is our impact on kids. When I started several years ago, we were kind of like, well, we did this, we did that. What we're doing for students district-wide is really starting to impact the career path of students. So we're still a growing, I'm not supposed to talk to this. We're still a growing foundation. We have a lot of room for growth. In other districts, they're kind of bigger than us, but we really are finding ways that make sure that the dollars that our community invests in us make it to the classroom, and it really is affecting learning. And so we're really excited about it. Our annual report there's some in the back, and they're on our website, and it will take you through it. You'll see, isn't that cool? You'll see lots of our teachers starting to tell their story too, so we're really excited about it. So we've been saying that we make an impact every day. We think it's about we know that it's at least 18 times, and this year, frankly, I'm just not willing to put a number on it because we're getting so close to every student every day. So we're just going for the meaningful impact that what we do is making a difference in classrooms. We have some funding areas, and so each year what we give kind of, it fluxes. We haven't said, okay, 33% always goes to literacy. We've said, let's make it all work each year and find our different priorities. And this year, we had a significant money that we donated to music, to teacher education, and also career and college readiness. Those were big for us this year. Sometimes we'll be bigger in literacy, sometimes we're bigger in STEM. It just kind of depends on how much that 3D printer is and what the opportunity we have to participate. So just seeing that. Always our goals, what makes us a school supporting agency is that we are in alignment with the school board goals. So It was really fun today to listen to in the study session. We were talking about, I was just sitting there doing nothing. They were working really hard. And talking about the results and the growth we've had in some of our math and science standards and advanced courses. And it's fun to say, okay, so, it's a little bit, but, by supporting that math Olympiad in 5th and 6th grade, hopefully we're getting kids to be more involved in math, just finding the ways to make what we do make sense. So we're happy to be on board with 22 of 28 school boards and some school board goals, and some of them we really just don't belong in, so we kind of leave Lydia alone and her plans for many of those. So what's interesting about the foundation is people kind of know who we are-ish, but they're like, what do you do? There's been some things that we do every year that I kind of wanted to highlight. So we're huge in your career and college readiness. Me and Damon are like this. Like, if Damon's doing it, we're trying to find a way to help support that. So we consistently are finding ways to help with computer science programs through the TEALS partnership. We love the hospital program. The nursing program, you probably have heard us say we bought some hospital beds. We continually are kind of growing into these programs. And we've also become really involved with that career and college readiness advisory board. Many of our board members and supporters are part of that and build that partnership, so it's exciting. Project Lead the Way is another place where we've said, no, we want to, because who wouldn't want to invest in Project Lead the Way? I mean, who even knows what it is, but it sounds great. But it's actually really great programming and curriculum for kids. But so we just came, that's a little giveaway. We're part of one of the things that we're going to fund now is what's happening at Woodinville. We were part of the Hollywood Hill movement, and we're really committed to saying, Project Lead the Way, Foundation's part of it. And then, as many of you are from the Woodinville Feeder Pattern, and you know about Leota and Timbercrest's awesome idea to do a new kind of career fair. And so last year they were like, we don't know what this is going to be. We want to pilot it. And we were able to kind of get involved with that. And we're really excited about our growing partnership with community and schools and how you can pull that together. So we love doing that stuff. So if community's out there, we're out there, we want to be part of it. We're also big supporters of our DECA, FBLA, and ASBs. You might not know that, but that's something that we engage them in our student calling, and then we invest in those amazing students. Some of our DECA and our FBLAs are, obviously nationwide amazing, and we want to be part of that. And then we recently have done Student of the Month at both the chambers as a kind of conversation, and it's been a wonderful piece to see. We've met some really great students and really helped them learn about what it is to be, it's close to my heart, what it is to be a good student, but also to contribute to your community, which is how they get honored, but then to teach them about how a community gives back to their students. So it's been a really valuable part of our life. Teacher training is something that several years ago we just started getting involved in it. We've been a major supporter of National Board teacher certification. So if somebody's doing that, we're offering scholarships for them to be more successful. New teacher mentorship program, we do that consistently, so brand new teachers are getting support that they need so that they stay with the job. It's a huge job, oh my gosh, those first couple years are kind of a big deal. Literacy, books. There's books we want to provide, and one of our favorite things is putting new classroom libraries in our teachers. So when brand new teachers have new classrooms, we try to put new books in them. Sometimes it takes us a couple months while we get it together and figure out who's there. But last year there were 24 first-year teachers who got about 500 books each because you guys helped us during this All In for Kids campaign. We're also always involved with McKinney-Vento, which is our homeless services program. We collect some change out in the community, and it translates to $10,000. I mean, that is so amazing to me, and that helps our kids who need some extra support. That Healthy Youth Survey that happens twice a year, we fully fund that. And then we're always an investor in community schools and all the great things that go with that. After school hang time, natural leaders, threads and treads, some college visits. Obviously not a PowerPoint present professional. And we love Math Olympiad and National History Day, and those are both things that we fund. So these are things that you might not know that we typically fund. We've been buying 3D printers every time. I'm still talking. We buy 3D printers every chance we can get enough money and know a good place to put them. And then one of the big things that we did several years ago in the 90s was we bought science. We were part of that FOSS science kits that is in every elementary school. And a couple of years ago, we helped out elementary education with a little bit of a refresh. So I just wanted you to know that we were doing, those are the things you should hear those things and know we're playing in. This year's highlight, one of the things I'm really excited about. So we have the opportunity to send our PE teachers to the SHAPE conference, which stands for something very healthy and good about health. It's very healthy. But the conference was here, and so it was more accessible, so we were able to offer some sub time so that those teachers could take advantage of it. You know, when you send one teacher to a conference, that affects them. I mean, let's just say 5 years, every kid in the school has a better experience because the teacher's inspired and joyful. I'm thinking these are good dollars spent. We're just happy about it. There was an opportunity to do some training for our high cap teachers, so we did that last fall. And then when Clayton Cook's PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Services training came in, we were able to be a funder of that. We're thrilled because we've seen some of the money that we've put into the composites program. Damon's going to report out, I'm probably stealing his thunder, but we've got 2 kids who went through the composite program at Bothell High School who are employed this year at Boeing with jobs. They graduated in the spring. Like, that is cool. Those are good dollars, those are, you know, great wages. And we've continued our TEALS program, which is out of Microsoft, where Microsoft employees come in and they work in the classroom, and so they volunteer in the classroom, and then Microsoft sends money to the classroom for computer science. It's magic! So we like that. Ton of music, like I said. We've cellos for is that the north end? Where I live, in the north end. Marimbas at some schools, keyboards, and then Inglemoor, as I'm sure you all know, Inglemoor had the opportunity to perform at Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall. So there was so much. Some of the other cool things is our growing partnerships in our community. Our Rotaries, Woodinville Rotary said, hey, we want to help you buy books. We always buy books anyway, let's do it together. So we found a way to do that together. The Chamber said, what are you doing? We want to help. So the Chamber in Bothell said, what can we do? Let's buy some books for kids. So it's just been great to have people come together for the things they care about. Our partnership with CPAC resulted in $8,000 more dollars and 8 more grants for our Innovative Classroom program. So we're doing lots of cool things because people are finding us to be a partner. Super proud that we've got ambassadors at 28 of, I think we're counting 34 programs because we've got 80 ATP in there, we've got Nursing Network, so we're trying to spread it out. But good representation from the foundation. My board are rock stars. If you haven't met them, this is just a few of the amazing people who serve the North Shore Schools Foundation. Many of them were approached to run for office and school board, and we just think that is pretty high quality. First ever scholarship, so Amrutha is starting at UW this week, I think, and so she's our very first student scholarship winner. She was a speaker at our luncheon. Robert Morgan at SAS got our second Innovation in Education Award. And then for those of you who are aware or don't know, we started an endowment program several years ago that allows us to hopefully raise enough money that someday we just can operate, and 100% of every dollar that we can raise from the community will be able to go straight to the classroom. So this is an ongoing kind of long-term, larger gift, and we've got to $150,000, which is pretty significant in just a year, a little over a year. So it's time for the fall granting. That wasn't that bad. So we have more than $76,000 we want to give away today. That funding is going to go to McKinney-Vento. We've been more involved with our SAS music program, which is, if you're not familiar with it, please check it out. It's an incentive. It's a citizenship builder, it's a self-esteem builder, and it's also having amazing effects on student performance in the classroom. So we've been an investor for a very long time about that. And then this year we've been able to partner better with the school district around backpacks for kids. So there's been several dollars that have come into the foundation so that we can continue to support that program. Cecilia Shoemate, if you haven't met her, works her tail off to make sure that more than 1,300 students got backpacks this year. So huge deal. We're really grateful for that. We're going to continue to put some money towards PBIS, the Positive Behavior Intervention System. Is that right? System? The S, whatever. What? Support? Support. See, I knew. PBIS. So we got support. I went over today to talk to the people at Evergreen Church, and I walked into the training. It was really wonderful to see them all there. We're continuing to support our new teachers when they start their school year, and then also we're throwing some dollars at just, water for trainings. And the thing with the district, just let's not use our dollars on that. Let's get donations and let's get support so that our teachers get the things they need so they can be present. It was 90 the day that they needed water. They needed water. I already told you about Project Lead the Way at Washington State, Woodinville High School. And then lo and behold, out of the blue, that career fair that I was telling you about was so successful that a community member said, what can I do to fully fund it? So we were able to provide all but $1,500 to fund that program this year, which is cool because somebody really liked it. Yeah, it's a really great opportunity. I'm really excited about the ATP work training program. So thanks to foundation donors, all of our students in ATP program are going to be able to get their CPR and their food service permit so that they can go to work. Like they have that to work every day. That's so cool. Like it's so worth every penny. So really excited about that. We've got a pilot of a MATLAB program. If you're an engineer or worked in scientific thing, you probably know about this program. There's a student version that is a tool that kids are being successful with at Woodinville High School. Of course, we're going to keep doing Students of the Month, TOs at Bothell High. We have a little bit of money for advanced textbooks. What? Oh, and SAS music, and then we also helped our ATP program get some emergency supplies. So then part of that $76,000 is this year we were able to put $37,000 directly into classrooms for innovative ideas. We love it. I don't know if for the 4 people who saw me on King 5 News, it was, it's really cool to say, you've got a great idea, here's some money to try it. I mean, that's what innovative classroom grants are about. It's about getting the dollars, supporting teachers so it's not coming out of their pocket and letting them try something without changing a curriculum or, all massive thing. Let's just try it and see if it works. If it works, then the district will figure out a way to make it happen, which is what we've seen over and over again. So our plans for the next year are just making more connections and more impact. Looking forward to telling that story. One of the more exciting things is on our website, you're going to see this, I don't have a pointer, but you see that Net Community button? So stay tuned for information about how that's going to help us build a bridge between alumni and community members and help them come and help at career fairs, help them tell us what they're doing out in the world so that we can make real world connections for our students. Thank you, we can't do it without you. And then of course we've got some amazing sponsors that make it happen. So just a little bit of that. And we also can't do it without your help at some events. So there's a little calendar for you. So with that, I'm available for questions. I want to invite Michelle up with a big check, and there you go.
Carmen, I just want to say once again that the Foundation's commitment to supporting North Shore students through the district's goals and performance measures is deeply appreciated. We appreciate you so much, your creativity and your innovation. And the board just offers you a big thanks on behalf of all the students in North Shore.
Thank you. Thanks for partnering with us.
Board members have any questions? If not, we'll go down further.
Look at me. Good job.
No, if I have to. No, I should have taken the picture.
No, you're right there.
It's all about you. We love you. It's my favorite thing.
It's so fun to be in photos. I gotta say. We'll use this all year, so look good. Do you need 2 lines?
Tiny bit this way, so I got everybody's.
Wait, you're ahead of us. No, you're supposed to be.
She's front this way.
Okay. I'll make that work.
Okay, you good? You got it right, we'll totally honor it, I promise.
She's a hard act to follow. Thank you, Carmen. So the next item on the agenda is the association and public comments. The North Shore School District Board of Directors has set aside a period of up to 60 minutes to receive updates and comments from association leaders and citizens from our community. The board expects speakers to address matters related to district operations, policies, procedures, and agenda items under consideration by the board. Comments should not make reference to any employee or representative from the district by name or by identifiable reference. Board meetings are not the appropriate setting for personnel complaints. If interested, there is a complaint process available through the Office of the Superintendent. Please note that because of the public governance process, the board may ask clarifying questions regarding topics not on the meeting's agenda, but will likely defer discussion to a future meeting if warranted in order for staff to prepare any necessary background information for the board members to review and for the discussion item to be included on a published agenda for other people that might be interested. Alternatively, a district employee or board member may respond to individuals offering public comment at a later date if warranted to do so. When addressing the board, please state your name clearly for our records. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. There is a timer that will sound when your time has expired. We appreciate your participation in the governance process, and we will start with association leaders. Yes.
Hello, I'm Carrie McKenzie, and I'm giving the update for North Shore Council PTSA. With great pleasure, and thank you all for all the things you do, and the co-work that happens between PTA and the board is amazing, and the staff as well. We have an upcoming candidate forum that some of you may be very aware about. It'll be on October 5th. All 4 candidates will be participating. We are going to have pre-selected questions, and our moderator will be Lisa Sarowick. And if you would like, or anyone in the audience would like to submit questions, we're taking questions at North Shore Council PTSA@outlook.com. We'll have it on our website, we'll have newsletters, we'll have all that good stuff. So if we would want to make this candidate forum as open and fair and informative as possible.
What time and where?
Sorry, it is on October 5th at 7 p.m. in this very room. All right, also coming up in October is our Legislative Assembly for PTA. This is a great forum where we get to talk amongst all the members of the entire state about the issues that are important to us. We have the top 5, which is funding the Cleary, create positive school climates for through social and emotional learning, increasing capital funding, increased access to higher education, and breakfast after the bell. I personally will be presenting a new issue on increasing the educational outcomes for foster children in the state. So I'm very much looking forward to that. In addition to voting on issues, we have fantastic classes that are wonderful for all parents to learn about what's going on in the state in terms of education. Moving on from Legislative Assembly, we do have Professional Development for Parents series that is starting in coordination with Karen Orsinger, who is helping us coordinate this. Our first speaker in the series is going to be with Joe Langford. It'll be on October 28th at 7 p.m. in the North Shore Performing Arts Center, and the subject is going to be on social media and sexting. It's supposed to be really good, and he will be doing a series during the day with students as well as speaking at night for parent education. So, and last but not least, we are having our Presidents and Principals Luncheon on November 12th at Evergreen Community Church has donated the space, and we are looking forward to that event as we hold every year. Okay.
On that.
And that's all my.
Did you say the time of that event?
Oh, sorry. The time of the event is at 11 a.m.
Might have said it.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Carrie.
You're putting in your issue that you have been working on for the foster kids?
Yes, I've been working on that issue for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Now we're going to make it a PTA official issue.
Good work.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see any other associations. Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. All right, we will go right to citizen comments, and we'll start with Gary Bamesberger. And I am going to ask you, we have more people than our 60 minutes will allow if we do 3 minutes per person. So I'm just going to ask you to be succinct and please honor the 3 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you. For those who don't know me, I'm Gary Bamesberger. I've volunteered here and there with the school district over the years. In fact, I was on the board a long time ago for the foundations. I think there was a hazy period where I was actually the president of that organization. And I've done other things with the organization here with the school district. I've been on the bond and levy committee of the citizens group that helps pass the bonds and levies for the district. We've done a couple that I was involved with. I'm always very interested with what's going on with finances, and I just kind of happened to go over the budget the other day and the OSPI numbers as well, and was kind of shocked to see that 87% of our salary or our budget are now going to salaries and benefits for our employees, and that number, that 87%, is an extremely high number. In fact, we're the highest in the state. There's no district that pays more to employees than here. And that leaves 13% of our budget to pay for electricity, pays for all the different things that we have to keep the school district running and our curriculum. And it is troubling to me that our school board, my school board, people I know, and I know you put in a lot of time and energy on this, have let this budget get to this point. And we need to reel it in. And 87% is just simply too high. Please work to bring it down as fast as you can before we are in serious financial trouble. Thanks.
Thank you, Gary. Angie Hinahos Yusuf. Am I close? Hinahos.
Hello, my name is Angie Hinahos Yusuf, and I have 3 children in the North Shore School District. I have a petition here started by concerned NSD parents. It is titled Save Our Challenge, and it states, I believe that challenge is a vital part of our North Shore School District program. Please ensure that dedicated challenge honors classes for all academic subjects are part of the new middle school plan. This petition has garnered over 700 signatures in less than a week from community members around the district who emphatically want to keep the challenge program going. I also have with me 18 pages of testimony from concerned community members, including students, who have laid out thoughtful and compelling reasons for keeping the challenge program intact. I'd like to end with some comments from the petition. A parent from Bothell said, I am signing because children are more motivated to learn when they are surrounded by like-minded peers. They challenge and motivate each other. A student from Woodinville wrote, I'm signing because challenge class was very good for me in junior high school. In non-challenge classes, I felt like the curriculum moved too slowly. A parent from Bothell wrote, research shows that middle school is an absolutely critical time for keeping academically focused kids, especially girls, engaged in challenging learning opportunities with like-minded peers. In the absence of a like-minded peer group, the pressure to conform can push them away from higher academic performance. And finally, a past student wrote, I am a proud graduate of the honors program at North Shore Junior High. I am currently a PhD candidate at UC Berkeley and can say that the honors program was incredibly valuable to my learning and development. It would be a shame and a wasted opportunity if it weren't made available for the benefit of future generations. Please consider the overwhelming support from the NSD community, and please save our challenge. Before I go, I'd like to ask everyone who is here in support of challenge to please stand up. May I pass these?
Hello, my name is Austina Devante. I have a 4th and a 7th grader. I am the co-chair of the North Shore High Cap Parent Advisory Board. I'm also the president of the statewide organization, the Northwest Gifted Child Association. My expertise in the social, emotional, and academic needs of highly capable kids has been sought by parents and school districts across the state. The AMLE, the Association of Middle Level Educators, and this particular book has been cited as the key research driving the proposal to move away from self-select challenge program in favor of heterogeneous mixed ability classrooms. in our middle schools. Yet, actually, nowhere in this book does it make the case for mixed ability classrooms. I read it cover to cover, and there are only 2 sentences on the bottom of page 32 that even touch on this topic, and not even particularly directly. Yet this is the primary research that's being cited for moving to this new model. Much of what is in this book is actually great and we would all agree with. For instance, challenging, exploratory, integrative, and relevant curriculum, consistent adult advocates involving families. But these things say nothing about which academic programs are available and how students are grouped into classrooms. In fact, we have our own data right here in North Shore. Our own district experimented with mixed ability classrooms. In 2009, the junior high honors program was canceled and there were 2 years of heterogeneous mixed ability classrooms. Parents were told that teachers would differentiate for kids' needs, but for 2 years it just didn't work. In the end, parents demanded that advanced classes be put back, and after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, the challenge program was born in the fall of 2011. Let's not repeat history. We've tried this before in our community, our schools, our teachers, and with our students, and it didn't work. And it wasn't that long ago. The Washington Association of Educators of Talented and Gifted uses a rubric to help educators match a program to the needs of the individual child. It has 3 parts: level, pace, and peers. The first factor is level. It would be very difficult for a teacher to differentiate for all the different levels needed in a mixed ability classroom across the huge range from struggling to highly capable learners, all within the confines of a 45 or 50-minute class block. The second factor is pace. It's not feasible for a teacher in a mixed ability classroom to match the pace of instruction to the needs of every student. Some students need much more repetition. Others will be ready to move on, allowing for more units and topics of study over the course of the school year, if there's time for it, and they can do it. The third factor is peers. You need peers in the classroom who are working at a similar level and pace to enable student-to-student interactions that further the learning of both students, not just teacher-to-student interaction. With mixed ability classrooms, the opportunity to work with communities of true peers is significantly diminished. Finally, the bottom line is that we need to get clear on what we mean by equity. The district has shared the statement that equity is defined as heterogeneous classrooms. My experience and expertise says that this is absolutely the wrong way to think about it. All kids are different and they have different needs. The answer is not to force all kids into the same one-size-fits-all approach, but rather provide a variety of academic programs and services so that every student's needs are met. Thank you.
And after that will be Nancy Chamberlain and then Patrick Kozel.
Hello, my name is Angie Hancock, and I have children in the HiCap programs at Bear Creek Elementary and Leota Junior High. I worked with the HiCap Parent Advisory Board to analyze the data they received from the June 2015 HiCap Parent Satisfaction Survey. The purpose of this survey was to better understand the experiences of parents in the current HiCap programs across the district, including EAP, AAP, and HiCap in the neighborhood schools. EAP and AAP are the district's full-time HiCap classrooms. Conversely, students who qualified for HiCap services in only one subject, or who wanted to stay in their home schools to receive HiCap services, are said to be receiving HiCap in the neighborhood school. The survey received 201 full responses, plus 62 partial responses. As you will see when you study the graphs included in this survey, the EAP, AAP, self-contained HiCap classroom model had a much higher satisfaction rating than the HiCap in the neighborhood school model. Parents of HiCap students being served in their mixed ability neighborhood schools were very dissatisfied with the differentiated education their child received. In fact, only 2% of the HiCap in the neighborhood elementary respondents strongly agreed with the statement, "My child received in-class math instruction that was differentiated from the standard grade level curriculum." In answer to the question, please rate your level of satisfaction with the HiCap programs offered to your child this year, 87% of the EAP parents answered satisfied or very satisfied, while only 11% of the HiCap in the neighborhood elementary respondents answered satisfied. 0% answered very satisfied. The HiCap in the neighborhood elementary school program from this past school year is an excellent indicator of how difficult it is to effectively serve students in a mixed ability classroom, where some are not as motivated to learn as others. Gen Ed teachers in the elementary schools were offered training on how to teach these mixed ability classrooms, These elementary teachers have the same students all day, every day, and have a unique opportunity to get to know these kids' educational needs very well. The survey results tell us that even in classrooms with teachers trained in working with mixed ability groups, students were rarely given differentiated instruction and were 9 times as likely to feel that other students in their classrooms were not engaged and motivated to learn. In the middle schools, the teachers have numerous classes of students coming and going throughout the day. These middle school teachers have 100 or more students in their classrooms daily. Understanding the unique educational needs of each child and being able to differentiate instruction for an even wider range of abilities and motivate all of them would be a daunting task. The current challenge classes are filled with students who have chosen a more rigorous path and want to learn at a faster pace. Given the recent data from our own district, we need to seriously rethink the notion of mixing these self-select challenge students with those students who have not chosen this more rigorous path. I'm here to ask the members of the school board to learn from this data and then please recommend to the middle school task force that we keep the current self-select challenge program. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Nancy Chamberlain, and none of these changes being proposed affect my 2 students. My concerns are and always have been to do the right thing for all the kids of this district. I have many questions about the philosophy that the middle school task force is considering. So many concerns that I cannot possibly address them all in a single 3-minute window. So I will return to present one at every school board meeting from now until the task force presents its recommendations for your consideration. The context for my questions relate to the philosophy elucidated in the book This We Believe of changing to heterogeneous classrooms in which the current challenge curriculum is used for all students in general ed, with concurrent elimination of the self-select challenge program. In the April 20 minutes of the middle school task force, it was noted some of the complexities of challenge for all. Quote, given the developmental diversity present in every middle grades classroom, gearing curriculum to each student's level of understanding is a complex task. Both content and methods must be diversified and individualized, end quote. If we're going to switch to heterogeneous classes, which may contain students of 3 to 5 very different ability groups, what does that look like? Different assignments for each group? Different grading rubrics for each group? The National Middle School Association recommends teachers should use a variety of developmentally appropriate instructional practices to enable each student to experience a high degree of personal excellence. Susan Weinbrenner, renowned expert at differentiated instruction, says teachers should create assessment pre-tests for students to choose to take to demonstrate mastery. Compact the curriculum, and she lists 10 easy steps. Create extension activities for each subject area for each month or unit. Use extension menus, which means creating more than one option for each unit. Interview parents and students to find the areas of students' passionate interest. Allow students to explore these areas in the classroom when they finish their compacted work ahead of others. This means the teacher will need to recreate extension activities annually based on their students' interests. So my concern today is teacher workload. Junior high teachers currently have 1 50-minute planning period and 5 50-minute classes per day. If the class size is 25, that is 2 minutes of contact time and 24 seconds of planning time per student per day. As a former teacher, I'm concerned about the workload issue of preparing for multiple levels of need in every course every day. How can we expect teachers to plan and implement authentic, differentiated instruction?
Nancy. And after that will be Sylvia Schultz and then Stephen Rubenstein.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Ozell. 5 years ago, we made a conscious decision to move here from California with the express purpose of a more rigorous curriculum like challenge, AP courses, and generally higher expectations for our children. And that we found that in this district. We currently have a 7th grade single subject high cap child, a 4th grader, an EAP eligible 2nd grader, and a preschooler. While we're relatively new to the middle school scene, we've quickly observed that this is a critical time when students decide where their priorities lie, and for us, the Challenge program represents an opportunity for these children to express themselves as they ultimately must do when they leave us. Regardless of individual opinions on the Challenge issue, I have grave concerns about the school district's ability to implement this change across the district. As demonstrated in the HiCap survey you received, implementation of the neighborhood school HiCap services was less than ideal last year. And we personally can attest to that with 2 students. If we're unable to properly service these children when state mandated, and there are only 1, 2, maybe 3 children or students at a different level in a classroom, what makes us realistically think it can be done in an even more diverse classroom when it's state law? In order to do so, what will it take from the students, the schools, the teachers? What professional development is needed and at what level? With such a complex concept and so many different ability levels, what training is going to be required of these teachers? And when? Is this something that teachers can learn in a day or 2? Will it take a week? Will it have to be something that's continuous? Given the difficulties with implementing the neighborhood HiCap system, again, state law, what assurances do we as parents have that this will truly service all children? What does success look like? And how do we plan to measure that? Finally, a question that is always germane to any discussion about education, finances. What will the cost of this implementation be? What will the training costs be? When we have a system that is in place, is only 4 years old, one we know that works, is replacing it truly the best use of our limited funds? Thank you.
And just so you know, when board members look down, we're usually jotting notes to ourselves. We're not ignoring you, so thank you.
Thank you. I'm Sylvia Schultz. I'm a parent of 2 students in the North Shore School District. Based on the positive experience of our now 10th grade daughter in Timbercrest Junior High Challenge program, we strongly recommend the middle school reconfiguration preserve the option for students to select challenge classes. The challenge program at Timbercrest launched our older daughter into a science-focused schedule at Woodinville High. Her peer group of achievers support one another and prioritize academics. They are confident and well prepared to flourish in high school and beyond. For the first time, Woodinville High School has 2 AP chemistry sections. For the 2nd year, incoming sophomores are taking AP biology. The challenge option allows students with support from their families to customize their learning experience to their own needs, build supportive peer relationships, and have a chance to outperform. Our younger daughter, now in 6th grade, wants to go to Timbercrest next year. Middle school is a trying time, especially for girls, and a dangerous time when girls fall away from interests in science, technology, engineering, and math. I want our younger daughter to have support to try hard, the support that comes from peers who have chosen to challenge themselves. Middle school is a time to explore new ideas, knowing her friends have her back because they're all in the same boat. I want her to be able to choose her workload and learn that her choices impact her future. I want students who aren't ready for challenge pace to be respected also. Heterogeneous classes are a recipe for unhealthy competition and reduced peer support at a developmentally critical time. In 2nd grade, our younger daughter was put in a table group where her job was to teach the weakest student. Her learning didn't advance. We moved out of that school district and intentionally selected the North Shore School District that prioritizes student learning. Please don't break what isn't broken. The challenge choice should remain an option for every middle school student. Girls especially need the bedrock social support of their peers to navigate the trying middle school years.
And then Kirsten Centuria and Timothy now.
Hi.